I think Home Alone movies should be rebooted. I think they're too outdated. And here is how I would write the reboot. So, here is the new plot. I composed a new plot for the modern age. So, I basically took the original movie's plot of Wikipedia, and now I will just revise it for the modern times. And we'll see which is a better plot. I think my version would make for a lot more fun of a movie. So here goes. In Chicago, the McAllister family is preparing for a Christmas vacation in Paris. On the night before their departure, the entire family gathers at Peter and Kate's home, where their son Kevin is ridiculed by his siblings and cousins. After a scuffle with his older brother Buzz, which was recorded by an iPad camera by another sibling for added humiliation, Kevin is sent to the third floor of the house, where he wishes that his family would disappear. During the night, heavy winds cause damage to power lines, which causes the alarm clocks to reset. But that doesn't matter, because someone chose to use their smartphone as an alarm clock, and the phone still woke up one person, and this person then woke up the rest of the family. After all, a phone runs on a battery, so the power outage doesn't mean much. So the family never oversleeps. So then they calmly gather and go to the airport, but I guess Kevin chooses to stay behind, and he slips away unnoticed, and never goes with them. This is something I have to change because there's no longer a confusion as they rush to the airport in an attempt not to miss their flight, since they never overslept thanks to a smartphone. Actually, it kind of doesn't even make sense. Then how do they not notice that he is missing? Oh, maybe they don't notice because they're all busy looking at their smartphones. Oh, okay, that makes sense. So now Kevin starts enjoying his newfound freedom alone in the house. Now, because the house is so wealthy, it does have security cameras over entrances, and inside the living room, inside the kitchen, inside the game room, so he can't enjoy himself too much, because his family will be able to watch later what he did. However, Kevin's joy turns to fear as he encounters his next-door neighbor, Old Man Marley, who is rumored to have murdered his family with a snow shovel in 1958. So he looks up the guy on the internet. He doesn't find reports of any such a case that was ever investigated, so he realizes the rumor is probably false, and his fear goes away. Kate discovers mid-flight that Kevin is missing, and upon arrival in Paris, the family discovers that all flights back to Chicago for the next 2 days are booked. Peter and the rest of the family go to his brother Rob's apartment in the city, while Kate manages to get a flight back to the United States, only to get as far as Scranton, Pennsylvania. But she is not in too great a hurry, because remember, in the original movie the telephone lines were knocked down and were not repaired in time, so she couldn't call her son to find out how he is doing. But in the present time, she calls him on a cell phone, and they communicate, and everything's fine. Kevin also encounters the burglars, but instead of them being Harry and Marv, they'll just be a pair of black guys from the ghetto, conducting their usual black criminality, as you can see on Colin Flaherty's channel. And it is taking place in Chicago, so it's way more realistic this way. Well, they've been breaking into other vacant houses on the street. So what Kevin does is he takes a drone with a camera that was given to him for Christmas, and he videotapes these guys from the air while they're breaking into another house, and then he posts the video online. It will also turn out that additionally the burglars were caught on a surveillance camera of the very first house they burglarized that they didn't notice. So the police will use those videos to identify the criminals and arrest them. But remember, Kevin also stole a toothbrush by accident, and he was caught on the store's cameras. So police come to get him for that as well. They throw him in the juvie, and they charge him with evading arrest, too. Why? Because he ran from a cop through that ice skating thing. Remember that? But even though he got away, the cop's body camera recorded the chase, so he can't lie or talk his way out of what happened. So, yeah, this would be the new movie. Yeah, I mean, it's funny and exciting and really just climactic. And, oh, are we forgetting something? Are we forgetting all the booby traps in the end? Well, see, the thing is, once the bad guys are caught on video, and it's posted online, the cops found them, so it never got close enough to having a need for any booby traps. But, I mean, we can reconcile this. I mean, we could have the bad guys clumsily slip on the ice and hurt themselves, like they just clumsily slip on the ice when they suddenly discover a drone watching them from the air. And that would be funny, I guess. I mean, what, you want a person to write something funny and exciting in the present-day world after you turned it into a recreation of George Orwell's 1984 hellhole? Who are you kidding? You want a person to write something unique and hilarious when this is what they have to deal with? Get the fuck out of here. This is it. This is what you get. And as time goes on and technology improves, you'll have even less than this. You know, it's no wonder that everyone in the present day is bored with life and fucking hates it. I mean, I guess I could write this as a short story and publish it. Now, if we could pass laws, like I want, where surveillance video can't be used as proof by police, then Kevin would have no choice but to take on the bad guys himself and set the booby traps. But, I mean, so what other stories could we rewrite for the modern age? I mean, I could make a killing just rewriting these stories for the modern age and publishing them. And it's not copyright infringement because it becomes so fucking different that it's almost not even a parody anymore. That's how different it is. You should disregard what I say next, because surveillance is a serious issue, and it will make the world worse. But it is possible for people to mock me by bringing up the following examples. Imagine Jules Verne complaining that he can't write an exciting around the world in 80 days adventure because of modern technology. Oh, how unexciting the story would be. It's so not fun. The guy just gets on a jet airliner, and then he gets on another jet airliner, and there, he's gone around the world. Not just in 80 days, but in less than 24 hours. Oh, how boring. Oh, there's nothing to write about. We should get rid of airplanes, and go back to steam locomotives and horse carriages, and steam ocean liners, so we can remake Around the World in 80 Days in modern times, and it will be just as good. Or if a filmmaker starts complaining that he can't make a western taking place in present times because the Southwest isn't the Wild West frontier anymore. We should bring back the Wild West in present times so I can make some western movies that take place in the present.